Thank you, Brian. That was so beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is amazing. Amazing to see each and every one of you. Thank you to Silvia. I don't know if she's in the room right now, but for so graciously opening her home, her amazing artwork all over the walls. It is just a fabulous place. And just so good to see everyone. And to the poets, thank you for trusting us with your work. It was such a joy and such an honor to work on this book. I have just a few quick words about logistics. We've never had this many poets read at one event before, so we are taking a cue from high school athletics, and we're gonna invite people in groups. So I will read a list of names, and if you could come forward and just stand along here and then read one after another. You're welcome to read all of the poems that you have in the book, or just a selection. Please read them only once, and please say your name before you read. And while we love hearing how much you appreciate the book and other things, we're gonna just keep the reading to the name, poems, and keep it moving. We don't wanna be here all afternoon. So, thank you, and Garry and Carolyn each have a few words.
Wow, look at all these poets in one room. It's amazing. So I just want to quickly say that this anthology that you're all in came about from this anthology that I did with Jerry Ball and Tom Tico, who are no longer with us, but we want to appreciate all their hard work on this first book. At the time, I didn't know there was going to be a second book 30 years later, but that's what happened. And so then I worked with Sue and Carolyn. And there are still some of these books around if you want one over here on the table. And I just want to say I appreciate you all participating in the book, and thank you so much. Carolyn.
Okay, I just want to welcome you all here, all of you. It's just amazing to see so many haiku poets, most of whom we haven't seen since before COVID. Some of you have never met before, so it's just really a pleasure to have you here. I want to say that a number of people have come up to me and said, oh, thank you so much for including me in the book. Well, if we didn't have your great poems, there wouldn't be a book. So you gave us all the material to work with, and we were really, really pleased with that. So thank you all, and just one little short logistical thing. We've kind of promised that there wouldn't be any eating on the white couch, just because. You can understand why. And we do thank Silvia Poloto. Silvia's, if you look at the book, the collage on the front of the book is her work. It's a piece that's actually been hanging on the wall in my house since 2003. And when I looked at it, it kept making me feel like it was pulling me back in time. So when we were talking about 30 years, that seemed like a good thing. And I wrote to her and I asked if we could use it for the cover. And she said, yes, of course, and no charge and no anything. And then she offered us this wonderful space. So she's not here to hear us, but I think a big round of applause for Silvia Poloto. Okay, and I think we're ready to begin.
Hi, I'm Roger. Orchard breeze, his perfected Tai Chi move, opens the cherry blossoms. At the river's edge, I name my fluttering soul broad-winged damselfly. The empty honey bear still stands on his head. Autumn equinox. autumn sea. The gull on his rock island looks at me on mine. All night, winter rain pitter-patters in my sleep. I awake, fluent.
Hi, I'm Mimi Ahern. Plum blossoms. He fills the pencil with soft lead. We could be silent together, morning glory vine. Wisteria. At great length, she states the obvious. Her temper, a spring-loaded screen door. What would it hurt to open the door? Windflowers. Beyond the gate with white paint peeling, the summer sea. My daughter threads it as I did for my mother. Fading autumn light. White stitches on indigo fabric. This starlit night. Thank you.
Susan Antolin. We call it a day, the lid dancing on a pot of artichokes. It must have been the onion that started it. Evening rain. Assigning my pain a number of autumn clouds. Psych ward. Out in the night air. My turn to fall apart. Thank you.
I'm Betty Arnold. Springtime Buckeye, the floral wallpaper in her she shed. Slough shallows, baby bell jellies wobble away from shore. Cotton candy spinning in the floss pan, summer sky. Mackerel sky, the undulating edges of uncertainty. Promises made, promises broken, autumnal equinox. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael Batista. Home for the holidays. Fire escape cigarettes. Signing divorce papers beside the door we painted hyacinth blue. Bouquet of wild asters. I carry the evening home. Not the priest's words by the grave, but the silence after. Thank you.
Chuck Brickley. Forsythia, the widow's blinds part slightly. Last lilac, the bee's shadow slips to a lower leaf. Manhole steam, two men with briefcases from the other world. Out of wind, a few wishes left on the stem. Homecoming, enough fog to start the wipers. Smacked upside the head by her snowball, still in love.
I'm Yvonne Camerona. New year, new makeup. What did I expect? Nature walk. Their argument escalates into hushed tones. Lessons clapped from the erasers. Last day of school. Rope swing. A kid launches himself straight into summer. The gardener trimming its scent, jasmine. Maple seeds, a little girl twirls in her new dress. Salmon run, does the river too have memory? The lit bellies of a string of geese, autumn sunset. Thank you.
I'm Stephen Colgan. Middle of the night, conversation with a darkness shaped like you. Breakfast alone, I talk to myself in my indoor voice. Fire season, she says good morning like a prayer. 6th birthday, the piñata puts up a fight. Rainy night, reading into her emojis. Drinking alone, I sift through the shells for the last pistachio.
I'm Jim Chessing. In the small hours, the fragment of a tune I used to know. First light, the darkness in the hole his fist made. Opening the door to an unexpected knock, the fragrance of plums. First kiss, freeing the hook from a coot's wing. Spiders in the attic, all the Monday things I have to do. Indian summer, enough paper clips to last the rest of my life. Last night's snow, the flatness of the bedspread where his leg was. Winter solitude, the lima bean soaking in half moonlight. Thank you.
I'm Patrick Gallagher. Winter rain, the red wheelbarrow floats away. Welcoming another pot of succulents, Father's Day. At a snail's pace, this voyage to oblivion. Like a rocket, this journey to oblivion. Octogenarian, I like the sound of it. Day of the Dead, such small clothes my father wore. Gettysburg shop, battleground bullets, 50 cents apiece. Nude beach, is that someone we know? Kauai beach, don't take me now.
Garry Gay. Church pew, a butterfly with folded wings. I wish I had a secret to keep dandelion seeds. The perfect skipping stone still in my pocket. Oars at rest, the slow drip of our conversation. Along the way, an old oak branch becomes a walking stick. Old slippers, I shuffle from room to room, looking for the moon. Weightlifter, slowly lifting the teacup. No matter where I stand, barbecue smoke. Plum sake, I fall in love with the moon. All day, a cricket in his throat, old scarecrow. Snowflakes fall into the darkness of the tulip. River stones, warm smooth. I have no regrets.
David Grayson. Old globe, the two hemispheres coming apart. Layoffs, the indents from the chair still in the carpet. Spring cleaning, moving the dust from one season to another. This one I dedicate to my wife over there. Phone call, the length of a bottle of wine. The stiffness in a new baseball glove, Father's Day. Mixing red and yellow paint, my son discovers fire. Street corner memorial, my 4-year-old asks for the balloon. Midsummer, adding a city to my weather app. Halloween party, after a few drinks, the masks come off. Thank you.
Johnny Johnson Havernick. Silence, learned from my mother. October sky. Serious chat with a sometime friend. Winter drizzle. The slightest touch signaling forgiveness. January moon. Prayers scattered with her ashes. Mountain chill. Breakfast on the veranda. The industry of ants. One of her daughters inherits her laugh. Spring sunshine. Making space for who I am today. Spring cleaning. Kazoos on the final chorus. Summer's end. Thank you.
I'm Carolyn Hall. Rain-streaked windows, how to paint the Finch's song. So suddenly winter, baby teeth at the bottom of the button jar. My 8th decade, how the rains rearranged the creek. Plum blossoms, I make plans for my ashes. Nesting owls, who would I be if I had stayed? Autumn dusk, a word that will do for the one I can't find. Twilight, the poultry truck returns with empty cages. Year's end, what made me think I needed a harmonica?
Rich crib trip. Moving day. Inside an empty box, the smell of rice cakes. In the silence after snow, a wren's faint chirp. Grandma's burial, spring rain, softly pounding my black umbrella. Sunny day, the postman leans into a blizzard of cherry petals. At the junkyard, an old washing machine filled with rain. Full moon over my father's orchard, the thump of an apple. Late afternoon, the plumber and I listen intently for the afterflush. Condoms. The checker asked me to slide my card more slowly. A crow has settled on the traffic light. Evening rush hour. Thank you.
Patricia Lockmiller. Blossoms at the tip of the weeping cherry. My late son's birthday. Expansive sky. A white butterfly detours around a blue skirt. Evoking clusters of algebraic symbols. Scent of tangerine. The footprint in an old riverbed. Orion. Meteor shower. A T-Rex forever stamp. Pi Day. Dividing the heirlooms equally, impossible. Expressway overpass, the calligraphy of hate. American Beauty, a twinge of dusk in its red. Shift change, the coolness of starshine. A penned love note in a book of astronomy. Winter evening. Slit of sky, frozen trenches full of suns. Her night mutterings, what did they know in Salem of the winter mind?
I'm Helen Ogden. Breaking dawn, the sun ripens into persimmon. River bend, the curve and the swoop of the swallow. Where salt meets fresh, night heron. Since you left, knowing and not knowing the names of birds. Off the grid, my inner compass finds true north. Blood moon, the phlebotomist tells me I have beautiful veins. Record drought remains in what remains of the reservoir. Shrouded in fog, the day awaits its own arrival. Thank you.
Sarah Paris. Spring breeze, the mockingbird's song gets carried away. A gray dawn again and again, the mourning dove. Outside the walls, herons guard the shore, San Quentin. The blues, his saxophone gathers dust, dedicated to my husband standing over there. Summer dusk, one boy alone shooting hoops. Twisted oaks, will I outlive my brother? Dry leaves whispering along the alley, night wind.
Sharon Preddy. Escaping through a hole in my sock, year's first dream. Tulip stand, a tourist bends back, his phrase book. News of refugees, the pieces of sea glass I decide to keep. Open iris, the nurse searches for another vein. Speaking to him as if he's still here, sea stars. A list of birds that mate for life, evening rain. Anniversary, the non-linear path of a windmill's prince. Fog-thick ridge, losing myself to the monkey flowers. Lonelier than I thought I was, wintering gulls. Thank you.
I think this is the most human beings I've seen in one place in almost a year. First morning, firecracker papers wandered the streets. Fog-filled valley, the shape of a dog's bark. My parents' room, 2 cigarettes talk in the dark. The soft skin behind the sow's ears, spring morning. Sunset, warmth from the cat that will outlive me. Fighting next door, I heard them in the spring, making love. Warmed with whiskey, the winter moonlight. Another year, the weight of my shadow on new snow. Winter wind against my window, against my will. Thank you.
My last pair of strappy Italian kicks, songs of summer. The vocalist eases into her lyrics, evening river jazz. In the soft whistle of a hummingbird's hover, I weigh my choices. Full wolf moon, tuning my inner ear to listen. The lake's voice lapping the shoreline, autumn twilight. Another season without my father's laughter, a whippoorwill's cry. Flute notes mingle in the sea spray, winter twilight. Thank you.
Michael Sheffield. Silent morning. The tule fog softens the edges of my waking. Nesting season. The fox's tongue yellow with yolk. The muffled strike of a wood splitter's axe. Morning mist. Trail's end, the flutter of prayer flags in the autumn breeze. November dawn, the soft sound of a turning page. Spiritual quest, still finding things shoved under the rug. Winter dawn, melodies still held in the sparrow's breast. Thank you.
Carol Steele. My grandson sits home 5 powers of attorney, his main deployment. A week-long convoy with his truck unprotected, piercing winds. Gulls on the bridge rail, as still as statuary, the depth of winter. A scrap of news, he might be home soon, early daffodils. Dancing down the trail, staying just in front of us, the painted lady. Red flowering quince, like me, a mountain transplant, now home by the sea.
Thanks, Brian. Okay. John Thompson. Spring sunshine, the happy baby claps her feet. Roadside pedal, I ease my foot off. I have to redo that. Roadside poppies, I ease my foot off the gas. Father and son, a game of catch, extends into moonlight. Which is the way? The fallen needles point in all directions. On the same bus, the same strangers as yesterday. Hopping in and out of the half-dug grave, a chirping robin. Graveyard shift, lighting one cigarette with another. Nursing home, the bitter taste of white lies. Acorn cap, sometimes all I know is emptiness. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tico. Cool city night, asking the caddy to turn up the jazz. Bridge traffic, a V-shaped lane of pelicans. Through city fog, the faint roar of zoo lions. Middle age, the dull knife I prefer for coring apples. Mansplaining. No attachment, sage advice from the computer. In the window of the derelict storefront, help wanted. Autumn evening, memorial bench, missing its plaque. Factory settings, the beach cleared by the storm. Thank you.
Michelle Turchi. Night crickets, the sound of the earth breathing. Her old garden shed, a dusty box of seed packets, all forget-me-nots. Learning to enjoy the person she is now, white lilac. A fig in each beak, summer flies away. Thank you.
My name is Dylan Tweeney. Calder sculpture, a single brown leaf tumbling from the sky. Country sunset, an onion skin drifts behind the semi. Snow calculus, the slow accumulation of almost nothing. Orion, seeing my father in the late winter sky. Quarantine, the sound of a rose petal dropping to the table. Shimmers beneath the surface, this green world. Thank you.
Hi, where's the mic arrangement?
This guy.
Okay, hi, I'm Paul Wadsky. Beach sunrise, long shadows of pebbles. Early appointment, the analyst's office full of yesterday's heat. Foggy morning, the wind chime trembles soundlessly. First free sonnet, awakening graduate studies the ceiling. Beachcomber, not seeing the sea. Valentine's Day, at Ocean Beach, the many names scratched in sand. Renaissance Fair, a woman with dancer's legs watches the dancers. His cigarette break, the friendly bank teller unfriendly. High windowsill, teetering toward birdsong, my arthritic cat. Tai Chi master, rearranging the quietness. Carrying their canes, two old women lean on each other. His ashes scattered, what to do with the box.
Allison Wolpert. New Year, my list of longings longer. Spring sky, one twirl before the girl settles in line. Mother's Day card, my attempt to say more with less, written larger. The dogs shake it loose, summer sea. Harvest Festival, the jars of fig jam full of constellations. Snow melt, the tight-lipped family secret everyone knows. In wait for the coroner, knit to, purl to. All Souls Day, again, I'm told the first year is the hardest. Thank you.
Hello, Karina M. Young. Nothing in the way, the spring sea. Rolling hills, the dog runs loops through the lupins. Not as sure as I once was, wild geese. My hand so small in hers, the Milky Way. We find our rhythm in a slow dance, harvest moon. depth of winter, the ukulele just right in my arms. Returning gray whales, the coast starlight takes me home. Thank you.
I'm Jay Zimmerman, and my secret name is Joan, so you can call me Joan. Spring morning, doing something new with pink scarves. Spring fever, turning language back into gesture. Rabbits at dusk, as if foxes did not also love twilight. Distant train whistle, the rainy afternoon full of stepdaughters. Convalescing, all the things I plan to do with a weed whacker. Hand waving about reincarnation, white chrysanthemum. Finding my place in the Asperger's spectrum, winter rainbow. As I turn the page, Napoleon leaves Moscow, fading winter light. Rising winter moon, something in a cage learns how to howl. Thank you.
Renee Owen. Kingfisher calls from out of nowhere, everywhere. Waterfall, I find a voice for this longing. From the throat of a hermit thrush, coastal dawn. This one life, I move the sparrow to higher ground. Spring thaw, you were there all along. Dusk on the mountaintop, as if I had wings. Whale spouts, this thin line of hope migrating north. Coastal fog, a V of ghost herons bends to the wind. Alone on a wild coast, twilight takes me. Be still and know that I am wind, rain, trees. What I will miss, the tips of pines against a blue sky. Becoming the sound of crickets, becoming night. I want to just take 1 minute, because we did so good with our timing, to invite us, and excuse me, Sue and Carolyn, if you plan to do this, but just everyone at once, say the name of one of your beloved haiku poets that is in this book that is no longer with us. Just say their name aloud, all together, on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Jane Rogers, Susan Antolin, Claudia Chaplin.
Thank you all. I love you so much. Thank you, Brian.
everyone. We did amazing on time. Thank you. So we have promised to be out by around 4. So if everyone could just help leave the place as we found it. But feel free to have a drink, have something to eat, and socialize. Until then, thank you.